Hi friends, so I am finally ready to do this video about our trip to Walt Disney World in Orlando. So right now I'm still currently in our hotel across the street from Disney Springs. There's a couple things I'm going to run through on this video. You know, if you plan on coming here anytime soon, especially we are in March of 2021 and spring break season is here and it is a little crazy. So first thing, some tips for hotels. If you are not staying on Disney resort property, but still want to find a good deal that's close, I learned this from someone else's YouTube video. The Hotwire website or the app, if you go on there and you look for, it's called Hot Rates. And the way they do this is you kind of choose your area. Now, if you have like a hotel in mind and you're like, this is absolutely the place I want to stay, this isn't for you, because what it does is it'll show you a rate and then it'll show you sometimes like 3 different hotels. And what happens is it'll say you pay first and then it lets you know which of those 3 hotels you will be staying at. And with this, there are no refunds, no cancellations. So you really want to make sure that out of the 3 that are presented to you, that any one of them would be fine and acceptable. So what I did is I chose the Disney Springs area, and something that was important to us is I really wanted something that was close enough walking distance to Disney Springs. My husband is at a work conference these last few days, so he has our vehicle with him, so I wanted to make sure that I was within walking distance of something that I could do during the day. So on the Hotwire site under the hot rates, there was one, so it was showing $80 per night, and it gave me a list of 3 different hotels. And I did my research. I went onto the hotels' websites, looked up the addresses and how far, and made sure all 3 of them were within walking distance. So I would have been fine with any 3 of those. Now I will also say, with that $80, it will say in fine print, does not include $36 per night resort fee. That is pretty standard for any of these hotels that are near Disney. They charge that hefty resort fee. It's crazy. But just so you know that is there and not included. Also, parking is usually not included, and is usually about $20 per night. So I went ahead and I registered. We were staying for 6 nights. So we paid $80 per night, went through the process, and we got this fantastic hotel. This is the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista. Hotel here in Disney Springs. And the other 2 choices would have been, like, I can see one right outside the window here is, just down the street a little bit, and the other one is also in this area. So that was great. And I do believe if you went directly onto this hotel's website, it was showing that the nightly rate is $139. So that was quite a bit of savings. And that $139 also, does not include that extra resort fee and the parking. So we were prepared to have to pay that extra $36 a night. When we got here to check in, we were told that actually the resort fee was only $24 a night. So that was a pleasant surprise. And then also they knocked it down to $16 per night. Now they didn't say why, and I didn't ask, but I am assuming it might be because not as many amenities are being provided right now. Housekeeping does not come into the rooms every day to clean. What they do is on every 3rd day, you can request it down at the front desk and let them know what time you're not going to be in the room, and they'll come up and do that. But the staff here have been so nice. On our 2nd day, my husband went down to ask for, some more coffee and coffee cups, and they loaded them up with a plastic bag of all this coffee. If you fill up a trash bag, just set it outside your room and they'll take care of it. So anything you need, they're on top of it. So that is the gist of the hotel. Some tips on saving money for food. So again, this is just what we did. So we drove down. So we have had the availability of, an extra suitcase, so, pile a bunch of stuff in. And also, stopped at a grocery store right before we arrived here to get the cold items like milk and things like that. So something that we really liked to have, and I'll turn the camera around here, and I don't know that I can officially recommend this because hotels might frown upon this, but we have a toaster oven. And when I show you, you know, our food supply, I'll show you kind of what we did with that. So I'll kind of give you the lay of the land here. If you look out the window here you can see, you know, some more hotels down the street. There is a lake right behind us. And also, there's actually 2 pools. You can just kind of see, you know, one there, and then there's another one in the back there you can't see, and also a hot tub. So I really like, so here's our door, and there's almost like this, we call this our pantry. So, you know, ice bucket, this was super helpful. So we brought, you know, just Kool-Aid mix, really simple, just to add that to the water. Have some drinks, we brought a whole bunch of cups, napkins, plates, bowls. So let's start with breakfast items. So we brought English muffins, which can be, you know, made in the toaster oven. And we have bagels, also can be made in the toaster oven. We brought our own cereal, Special K for my husband, Count Chocula for me. And then for like lunches or dinners, so here's one of the things, they have this, you know, like the chicken in a can instead of tuna. So kind of make like a tuna melt, but with chicken, and make that on the English muffins here. I have mayo in the fridge. We also have Pop-Tarts over here and oatmeal, graham crackers, these here, and trail mix. That's great to have to put, we have like extra Ziploc bags up top there, to put those in your bag to take to the parks, and whatnot. Over here we have some pepperoni and one lonely Cadbury egg. Here are some more snacks. Seagram's here we actually got at Walmart, and this was like less than $12 for a 12-pack, so that was pretty cool. I brought my own, I got this at the store, grenadine. I love Shirley Temples. Just Sprite and grenadine. You can also add this to Coke for cherry Coke. So here in the fridge, you know, we keep some pop that's cold. We have our cream cheese, milk, mayo for sandwiches. So we were making little pizzas with the English muffins. This was really cool, just a squeeze bottle of pizza sauce. And then we have mozzarella cheese, and, you know, more pepperoni. Here is some jelly. I had on my English muffin this morning. And then, you know, we have our butter, and we got chip dip, and we bought some fresh fruit and yogurt. So I think the toaster oven was a really great idea. Like a couple times now, you know, it just makes a great midday snack. I'm making those little pizzas instead of spending like a ton of money on, you know, a fancy dinner or a fancy meal that wasn't really necessary. You know, we did do that a couple times this week, but we didn't want to do that for every meal. So if it's something you're comfortable doing or bringing, it's worked really well for us. Okay, so let's talk about the parks themselves. I'm not a big like vlogger on the spot kind of thing, you know, videoing things as I do them. I try to be better at like just being present and in the moment, but I love to take pictures. I had my camera with me in the parks. So as I'm just talking about different things, I will for sure just add in some pictures that were taken to kind of help you visualize some things. So Hollywood Studios is where we went on Monday, and it was, you know, sold out to capacity. We had never been there before. We did arrive about 45 minutes before the park was opening. We wouldn't want to arrive any later than that. There was, you know, already a line growing at the gate. So we were there for, I guess, what you would call rope drop. As we entered the park, we did head for Tower of Terror because we knew that that would be one of the more popular rides. And since it was before the park was still opening, I don't think that that line was even really open yet, so we went right across to the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster. And that was a literal walk on. Like there was no waiting, no nothing, you know, right through and right onto the ride. That was like kind of a rude awakening. So I haven't been to like any type of amusement park or thrill rides kind of thing for probably several years. And not that they scare me or anything, but it was like this was first thing in the morning, and I'd never been on this ride, and you know, not having to stand in line, you just like walk straight through, and you know, we're excited. It's first thing in the morning. You sit down and get buckled in, and this thing just takes off. I'm just like, oh my gosh, maybe this shouldn't have been the first ride. You know, because it's in the dark and neon lights, and you're just like flying through. It's like, I mean, it was amazing, but you just be ready for it. By the time we got off of that, now the line for Tower of Terror was open, and it was backed up like beyond belief. So we're like, maybe we should come back to that later. And I will say that that line never got any less the entire day. It was, you know, we kept checking the app, and I think the entire day it was always like 60 minutes or above. So immediately after that, so now the park is open. It opened at 9, and you know, we were on the rock and roller coaster before 9 o'clock. So maybe it's like 9:05 as we're coming off of that. So we headed back towards the middle, and the next line we got into was for the railroad, Minnie and Mickey Railway. And that one was already up to a 45-minute wait. So we did stand in line for that one. Super cool, super fun ride. You know, these rides are just so imaginative and creative. We really enjoyed that one. And after that, I think, then we went over and worked our way towards, I really wanted to do I love the Muppets. So they have like a Muppet 3D kind of show. I want to say that that was showing a wait of like 25 minutes. I mean, when we got there, there wasn't really, you know, any type of huge line. You know, you walk right in and you're right in like the staging area for the next group to go in. I think the wait is just waiting for that first group to finish up before you can go in. So we were just kind of in that staging room, you know, as that continued to fill up before we went in. You know, enjoyed that. Oh, I forgot to tell you the very first part of our morning that morning. So the night before, actually on our drive down, I looked up a YouTube video of like tips of how to get a boarding group, Rise of the Resistance. So we watched a couple tips and tricks on that. So 7 a.m., you know, that morning, we were able to get a boarding group, and I was so surprised. But it worked. I mean, look up the YouTube videos of people that, you know, have those tips and tricks, and basically it was just, you know, do not be late, don't be on your hotel's Wi-Fi. As soon as your phone says like 6:59, like you don't want to be in where it says join now, you want to be on the outside of that. So you're just staring at your phone like ready, and as soon as it goes from 6:59 to 7, you're just jamming that join button, and then don't even read what's next. Like your party that's in your group like should already be there, and just hit continue. The video I watched, they said you have 4 seconds to get through. When it hits 7 a.m. you got 4 seconds, and if you missed it, it's not gonna happen. So I did that. We were boarding group 75. So you know, we were keeping an eye on that. So after the Muppets, we did head over towards the Star Wars area. So there are 2 Star Wars rides. So I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, sorry. But there were 2 rides that did not require, you know, the boarding group boarding pass, like the Rise of the Resistance. So we did get into the line for one of those rides. That might have been Smuggler's Run, is that the right name? And that line, I'm sure was like 45-50 minute wait. And that line, the queue is pretty cool. You're like kind of walking underneath like the Ewok village. So that was pretty neat. And again, like, even though I'm not a Star Wars fan, like I can fully appreciate how much work and creativity and how just amazing like these rides in itself like they are. So we did that, and by that time we were getting pretty hungry. And again, off of the recommendation of someone else's YouTube video that I watched, they recommended for food, so it's called Ronto's Roasters. I think that's what it was called. And so it's called a Ronto wrap, and it's in, again, the Star Wars area there. And I'll show you a picture of it. It's like sausage in a pita wrap with like coleslaw and a little bit of sauce. And it was so good. It hit the spot. And they have, for a choice of drink, they had like this tea that might have had like some fruit flavor in it. I don't remember, but I just remember thinking like, oh, that sounds good. And it was so good. Being a hot day, like that meal, just quick meal, like just hit the spot. It was really good, like really, really good. So we did go into like the Star Wars land. Visually, it is just stunning. You are just like completely immersed. It's not like, oh, here's a pretty feature here or here. Like the whole thing is just, it's amazing. Now, as far as the lines go, I mean, there were lines everywhere, and it was hard to tell like where something started or ended. So next, we did get in line then for Star Tours. Yes, Star Tours. Again, another super, super long line. So this line, so they actually opened up, I don't know if you'd call it like backstage or whatnot, but in order to accommodate some of the lines, they would push open like this big gate so that the line could come back here, accommodate for some more people without having this line like going all the way around the entire park. So this line was super, super long, but it was kind of neat when you were in the line and we're in like that backstage area that you're not normally going to see. So from the front side, you have this like beautiful landscape or whatever, but it kind of takes away from the magic a little bit when you're on the back side of that, because now you can see like how it's made and underneath. And I think while we were in line for that, I think our time did come for our boarding group for Rise of the Resistance. But by the time we walked over there, the ride had broken down. So if you're on the app, and it shows the wait times, if there is a star on one of the rides, that means that it is broken down or just down for whatever reason at that moment. So we went over just to kind of, we're like, well, we'll stand in line anyway and see what's up. And they told us, just don't waste your time standing here, go ride something else, keep checking back, and as soon as it opens up, come on back. So we did that. So then we worked our way over to the Toy Story land. And that area was just so fun. Again, visually, they knock it out of the park. It was just really neat just to look at all the colors and things like that. So we rode, I'm not even sure what it was called, but it was the one with the little aliens going in circles. And that was fun. I mean, we were just looking for a ride to get on before checking back with Rise of the Resistance. And Slinky Dog Dash, I mean, that line was extremely long. It might have been an hour or over an hour. So we didn't want to get in that line at that time. And actually, as we walked further and just saw visually like how long the line was, we're just like, I mean, maybe this isn't a must a must ride for us. Even just standing in line on like a hot day, like it takes a lot out of you. I mean, my feet were killing me just, you know, standing on like hard pavement for like hours on end. You know, I was losing steam. Finally, we did see that Rise of the Resistance was back up and operational, so we headed back there. But see, I was kind of hoping that because of the boarding passes and the virtual queue, the way they do that, that maybe there wouldn't be like any wait. It's like, hey, your number's up, here you go, get on the ride. That's not the case. There's still a physical wait in a line. So we waited again. It was pretty neat. I mean, I can see, you know, if you are a die-hard Star Wars fan, then I am certain that this is a must. You know, I could just appreciate how much work and the technology and the staff themselves, like, they fully immerse you into this world. When we got off of that ride, oh, after that, we did head back over to Tower of Terror to get in that line, which was so long. I mean, it's depressing when you see a ride and you're like, oh, and you get excited and you go to see where the line is and you just keep following and looking for the end, and it's just like, oh my goodness. You know, the last time we were here was in 2007, which seems like forever ago. And we just spent a day at the Magic Kingdom. And I remember you could pretty much just walk on any ride, and we just had a blast. So I don't know if like we were spoiled from that trip. But the wait times, like, I don't want to say that it made the day unenjoyable, but it was just, it makes a difference when you have to wait that long for like each and every ride. And it really does seem like you spend most of your day, like while you're waiting in line, you're just checking the app. So you just spend your whole day planning, you know, what should we do next? What should we do next? And it almost takes away from being able to enjoy the moment of like the ride you're on. You know, but we did have a fun day. So we stood in that long line for Tower of Terror. And again, this is a ride we'd never been on. And it was really fun. You know, I've been on the rides that just, you know, just drop you. And I mean, this is a little bit different. There's obviously a great deal of theming that goes into it. And it's really cool. Definitely worth it. Well, I think after that we kind of worked our way back through. So the park that night closed at 7, and I think it might have been going on. It was between 5 and 6, and you know, we'd pretty much done everything we had wanted to do. We were really tired. Just, I mean, like I said, standing in those lines just take a lot out of you. So we kind of worked our way back towards the beginning again and just kind of stopped into a couple stores. And then made the decision to try to make it out to the Disney character warehouse that closed at 8. I had never been there, but again, I wanted to see, you know, hey, can I get some really cheap, like, you know, souvenirs? So we ran out there, you know, got some great buys from there, which I will show you here at the end. And then that night, I think we came back and just, you know, we were exhausted. You know, didn't want to go out to eat or anything. We just, and Magic Kingdom was scheduled, we were doing that the next day. So we're like, let's just go back to the hotel room. We popped open the toaster oven and made ourselves little English muffin pizzas. And that worked out perfectly. Went to bed, got a good night's sleep. Got up early to go to Magic Kingdom in time for a rope drop that morning. So moving on to Magic Kingdom. So we were there, you know, fairly early. Cars were piling up at the front gate very quickly. And I had heard that the Seven Dwarfs mine train is what you want to hit first, you know, if you're first in the morning there. I will tell you, unless you are like literally the first person through the gate, don't waste your time going that way. So, you know, we did that. And I think, you know, I felt like we were, you know, we weren't the first ones, but I didn't feel like we were that many cars back when they first started letting cars through the gate. But I will tell you that everyone went to that ride first. So before the park even opened, you know, we get over there, we're booking it, we'd beeline it, get over there, and the line is already wrapped like so far around, and we're just like let's go do something else. So we did change gears and went over to Frontierland, and it was beautiful. I mean, so we had just seen like this massive crowd was all over in, you know, the Fantasyland area. We get over to Frontierland and there's like nobody. We're like, ooh, this is a lot nicer, like much better. So we were able to walk right onto Big Thunder Mountain. And as luck would have it, you know, we get up there and they put us right in the front seat. And I was like, oh, what a fun morning. You know, we get to walk right onto Big Thunder Mountain and we're in the very front row. So that was a nice way to start the day. I got some cool pictures from that. So Splash Mountain, which is right next to Big Thunder Mountain, didn't actually open yet for the day. There was cast members there saying it was closed for, you know, maintenance or whatever. You know, it should be open later in the day, but at that point, not open. So we're like, okay, well, let's go down to Pirates of the Caribbean next. So we did that. By the time we get down there, you know, that's up to like 55-minute wait. So we get in line for that, you know, wait like an hour to get on that ride, and we do that. We keep checking on Splash Mountain, and, you know, still not open. So then after Pirates, we decide, well, let's do the Jungle Cruise, which is, you know, right next to Pirates. And that ride was also like a 55-minute wait. That line was like so far back. It was like the start of the line was like way back by like where the Swiss Family Robinson tree is. So then we got in that line. So the whole day is just like hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. So we did that and rode the Jungle Cruise and really enjoyed that. You know, it's just a nice slower pace. That was fun. I think at that point we did see that Splash had opened for the first time, you know, that day. So we're like, okay, let's go do Splash. Well, I think everyone else was also keeping an eye on that. By the time we got over there, the wait time was up to 110 minutes. And my theory was like, I mean, I'm sure the line will still be long, you know, later, but I'm like, I'm certain that it won't be this long. So I'm like, let's do this later. So we went around the corner to Haunted Mansion. Visually, the line for Haunted Mansion like looked really long, like it was way back, like across the bridge. But it said it was only 35-minute wait. And that was pretty accurate. I think the rides that are just like continuously moving, the ones where if you're not careful you trip and break your neck with the moving conveyor belts, you know, those lines, you know, do move pretty quick. But we stood in that line. And I got some cool pictures, you know, on our way in there. I will say for the Haunted Mansion, if you can, wait until towards the end of the day. So Magic Kingdom closed at 9 that day. I would say for the last 3 hours of the night, there was no line like that I could visually see whatsoever. So it was probably like pretty much a walk-on for the last 3 hours. So that is one that I would say, if you can wait till later in the day, by all means. I don't think you'll have to wait later. Thunder Mountain and Splash, those remained, you know, close to an hour the entire day. Like those times never let up. I think after Haunted Mansion, we might have done Space Mountain then after that. It looked like Space Mountain, the waiting time for that held kind of steady around 45 minutes, I think most of the day. But again, visually, you know, it it looked really long outside there. So we did do that. That ride is so fun. Like, I hadn't been on it in so long, and you know, when you're first starting out and it's just, you can just see all those stars inside, I'm like, oh, this is so relaxing. Like, it's just a relaxing, fun ride to me. My husband's like, what are you talking about? So we did that. We might have eaten lunch next. So for any sit-down restaurants, you have to make your reservations first. And a lot of things do fill up. But as far as like the quick service things, it has to be, you can't walk up. It has to be ordered on your phone. But what I found, I liked that I could look on my phone and see their menus from like sitting on a bench and kind of decide, well, what do I want to eat, instead of walking around and be like, does that sound good? Does this sound good? So we could just look at a menu and be like, yeah, let's do this. So we ended up getting lunch from, I think it's Cosmic Rays. It's in Tomorrowland. You know, my husband was hungry for a burger, and I got chicken tenders and fries. So we put our mobile order in, and then when you're over there, you click and say, you know, I'm here, and then it'll say, you know, we'll let you know when you're able to come to the door and that your food is ready. So we sat down at a bench, you know, next to there, and you know, it was the lunch rush. So we waited maybe 20 minutes. We're not the spring chickens we used to be, so we sat down. We crashed like. My husband moved his head back and like he was sleeping, and I was just kind of like leaning back, had my legs up on him, and I'm just like, we're so old. Like, we were tired. So finally our number came up. You go up to the door and you show your phone, you know, to the host, you know, at the door, and they'll let you go in. So the tables, you know, it's like every other is closed due to COVID. So it can be hard and tricky to find a table. So while I was, you know, up in line waiting for our food, I sent my husband to go find us a table. So we did have somewhere that we were able to find to sit. We did, so like I said, since we hadn't been there since 2007, I love Beauty and the Beast, and I haven't been there yet to see, you know, the castle area, and you know, obviously they have the Be Our Guest restaurant. I've seen pictures of the inside and it looks amazing, but I just personally could not justify $120 meal for my husband and I to eat and get a reservation in there. So I was like, oh, maybe next time, maybe someday, but I just like, I just couldn't justify that expense. But really, like, my main reason, like, I would love to go in there to be able to take pictures and see just what the inside of that, you know, looks like in person. But we did, you know, swing up there. You know, I wanted to get whatever pictures that I could from the outside. And I did go up to the host and ask permission. I said, am I allowed to go, you know, past where they were? I said, am I allowed to go on this bridge here to take closer pictures? And it was so nice. He's like, absolutely. He's like, just, you can't go past the bridge. Like, pretty much saying, like, do not sneak inside. And I didn't. I just went on the bridge. I was there for like only 3 or 4 minutes and got a few pictures. Use my zoom on my camera to get, you know, zoom in, because I just wanted to see all the details on like this, you know, the castle up there. So that was cool. We did that. I think after that we might have gone to Peter Pan's flight. That stayed steady at about a 50 minute wait. Now the line for that one was interesting. So right behind that ride is it's the Columbia Harbor House, which I had never noticed before, but I guess it was a restaurant. Still is, but wasn't open as a restaurant. So for the line for Peter Pan's flight, you know, the line would start outside and then they would route the line in this Columbia Harbor House. You know, you'd come in, you know, go up the stairs one side, the line goes around upstairs, comes downstairs the other side, you know, through there. But that was neat. I'd never been in there before, and as we were just looking at the different things on the wall, I was like, oh, there's a hidden Mickey! You know, my husband and I had our eyes out for like them throughout the day, and they're not as in your face as you would think. Like, we had a hard time like finding any. But this was one good one that I was excited to find. Like, on the wall there is this picture, and yeah, so Small World was right there, but that wasn't something on our list that we had to do, especially on a day with just like these super long lines. I mean, if things would have been more of a walk on, sure, we would have done more things. So then the Little Mermaid, the Ariel's ride, it was showing it was only a 15-minute wait. Now, I think for the majority of the day, it was only showing like 35 minutes. But when it said 15, we're like, oh, well, let's go do that one and, you know, knock that one out since it's such a low wait. Well, I think everyone and their grandmother saw that it was a 15-minute wait. We get over there and there's just droves of people like piling into the end of the line. So that number quickly rose again. But again, this is another one of those continuous rides, like nonstop, like with the conveyor belt. We have to watch yourself, watch your step. So I mean, that line did move very quickly, and again, just, you know, excellent theming. It was, you know, I love the Little Mermaid as a girl, so that was fun. It might have been around this point that we're just like, okay, we're gonna have to suck it up and just stand in that line for the Snow White or the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train ride. So it was probably about a 60-minute posted wait. So we went ahead and got in line for that. It either was starting to get dark or was dark as we were in that line. So the park just has like a completely different look to it as you know, it gets dark out. You know, there's like the lanterns in the queue line. Just, it looked really cool. And what I love about that ride, so as you're in the queue line too, you can see, so they have like, I think maybe like a row of like mine carts with like the gems that they're mining, and they're so beautiful. And since it was at night, like, oh my goodness, they're stunning. So even on this ride, if you've never been on it, you know, it's like, you know, fun, like roller coaster, but then in the middle, like, it does, you know, slow down when you're going like through the mines, and you can see, and it is just gorgeous because, you know, it's, you know, you're in this dark mine, but these gems are just like shining from the walls, and it is so beautiful. I loved it. I think after that, we're like, okay, we're gonna have to knock Splash out of the way. You know, we had waited towards the end of the day, and that line, you know, did not decrease like a ton. It was like a 45-50-minute wait now. So we're like, all right, well, we're gonna have to go do that one if we want to be able to get on at all. So it was towards the end of the night now. So we went over and got in line for that. My feet were killing me at this point. Again, just like standing in these long lines all day, I was just, oh, so tired. But waited in that line, got on, got to ride Splash. Super fun. We really enjoyed that. And then after that, we had enough time for about one more ride, as long as the line wasn't too long. So I would say it's probably like 8:30 at this point. Like, we're getting close to closing time. And oh, and I forgot to mention, while we were in the line for Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain went down and was closed for a bit, but it did reopen again right at the end. But at 8:30, 8:40, there was still like a 45-minute wait showing on the app for the Seven Dwarfs mine train ride. So if you're thinking of just kind of like leaving that one till the end of the night, thinking the line's gonna go down, like, that one didn't. But Jungle Cruise is showing a 15-minute wait. So, you know, we've never done that one at night. So we're like, well, let's go hop on that one and figure that'll be a nice romantic boat ride to end out our evening. So we did that, and that was quite enjoyable. As we were going through the cave part of that, and it's like, you know, a little scary. It has like the snakes and stuff. It scared me for a second because I saw something else move like next to these snakes, and here there's these two ducks just like chilling by the big cobras. And like the real ducks, and I had to do like a second glance. And I was like, oh, there's ducks. And then after that, so it is now park closing time. We made our way back over to the middle where the castle was, because we wanted to get some nighttime pictures of the castle. And with COVID, I will mention with the masks, cast members are absolutely very strict about the masks. Even if it, you know, starts to fall down below your nose. You know, I had a couple of them, you know, I didn't do it on purpose, but before I would get on a ride, they would tell me to, you know, put it back, you know, up, and I would fix it, and I'm like, sorry. And we also did notice, so in the afternoon, we were taking pictures in front of the castle, and there was an employee there, and I am certain that her only job was to make sure that people were not removing their masks when they were taking photos. So that is strictly enforced. Whether or not you want to do like the quick peek to see if anybody's looking, and quick do take, it's on you. So we got our pictures, you know, with the castle at night. And then made our way, you know, down Main Street, which was very, very pretty with the lights. And, you know, I stopped to get a few pictures. And then we made our way out of the park. So, I mean, it was a long day, lots of waiting, but we did have a good time. So lots of great pictures, made a lot of new memories. So now let's get to showing you my merchandise haul. So these will be items from Hollywood Studios. I didn't do a ton of shopping there, but a couple things, and some of the things I might not remember which place I got them from. Magic Kingdom, the Character Warehouse, which is the Disney outlet store, and then there was another off-site, one of those cheap places that usually has like a lot of knockoff Disney stuff. But anyway, we'll show you. Let's get into this. Okay, trying to figure out the best order to show you these things. There's also items that were purchased in Disney Springs the other day. So I'm going to start with, and these are actually some of the items that I found at the Character Warehouse, which are licensed Disney products which were sold in the park at one time, but then they get moved to the Character Warehouse and are marked down significantly. So my part-time job, work at FedEx, and my supervisors there are so amazing. Like, it's a job that, you know, I've never had a bad day there. It's very enjoyable, and I really appreciate the atmosphere that they provide for us there. So I made sure to find out, you know, what their favorite character was or what they liked before coming down here. I had 3 Star Wars buffs, 1 Hades, and 1 Jack Skellington. Star Wars, piece of cake, no problem. So these were from the Character Warehouse. So these were marked down. So this is a Star Wars Rise of the Resistance pin. Originally $17.99. I want to say I paid like $6. And then these face masks were $1 a piece. So there's one, and then another same exact thing, 2 face masks and the same pin. The other Star Wars person, this hat here, this is actually like a really nice hat. And it was originally $27.99, and I think I paid $3 for it. And also 2 more face masks. The Jack Skellington fan. So I found this super cute hat here, and on the back says Jack Skellington. And this was originally $19.99, and it was $7.99. And also this Parks pin had a yellow tag originally, but that was again at the Character Warehouse. And then the one that liked Hades, I had such a hard time finding Hades things. And I only came across 2 things, so those were my options. I have this is the only Hades pin that I found, so I got that one. And then this I found actually in the Wonderground art gallery. Here's this Hades postcard here, and that was $6.99. These here, I'll show you. I got these at Downtown Disney yesterday. So these are so cool. So these are Wonderland Tea Sets. The unofficial unbirthday tea. And they were actually buy one, get one free. So they're marked at $14.99. So for $15, I got 2 of these. And these will make like amazing, like really awesome gifts. So for the 2 people that I got those for that I had in mind, I got mugs to go with their tea. So this one is for my sister who loves Alice in Wonderland. Look at how cute this is. It's got little characters in there. And this was $19.99. But that's just, it's so fun, and she's gonna love that. So the other set of tea is going to be a gift for, along with this mug. So if you've seen in some of my other videos, we have a lion-headed rabbit. His name is Kyle. And, you know, he could not come on this trip with us. So our friend is rabbit sitting for us this week. And she just does like the Little Mermaid. So we found this mug for her. And it says, Ariel, change your world. And I believe this mug was $15. I love the contrast in those colors. Okay, this here, so I also purchased this in Disney Springs, and this is really neat. So this here looks so legit. So as I took this to the cash register, the poor lady, like she couldn't find the tag on it. You know, because she fully thought like this was a video. Well, here it's a journal. Look how cute that is. So the tag to scan it was in this back cover there. But she, I mean, she's looking at this. You know, she didn't think to like try to open it. It's just, that's amazing. So I like this a lot. We'll show you this, and this also came from Disney Springs. Not Disney related, but look at this Coke bottle bank. So when I saw these, they actually had like a super huge one. And it just brought back so many memories. I forgot that I even had one. So when I was a young teenager, like I really wanted like this huge Coke bottle bank, and I begged and begged for it, and I got it. And I completely forgot that I ever had one until I saw these in the shelf. The large one was like $15, but I just felt that was like obnoxiously too large, so I did get this smaller one that we can put our loose change in, and this one was $8. And then we just got so these are magnets, and this one's actually a bottle opener there. This one I thought was super pretty. This is Orlando. We went to, right down the street there was, my husband was really itching to have dinner at IHOP. And so we went there, and there was one of those, you know, off-site gift stores that are like super cheap, usually not authentic kind of places. But since we were in the parking lot, like right next door, I was like, you know, I just want to go in and take a peek. So we did go in, and I was surprised because there was actually like some legitimate things in there. So I did end up getting this chip mug because I just thought he was so cute. And I think he was $14.99, and even on the box it says $14.99, so it wasn't like really much of a discount or anything. So I'd always assumed like these places, like, okay, well, any pins they have are obviously going to be fake. But then I came up to their pin rack, and I'm just like, they look pretty real. So I wasn't like, it's really convincing, like, and I don't want to like support like buying fake pins, but I wasn't sure. And one of the pins that I saw they had there, I had seen in the parks, and I thought about getting it. So when I saw it for like cheaper at this place, I went ahead and got it. So here is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train pin. And I mean, I took it out, I was looking at it, and I can't find anything to make me think that it's fake. So I paid $6.99 for this, and in the parks it's $12.99. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that one, but it'll look nice on my board. This other one is definitely a fake, and I wasn't sure when I first got it, but then I realized that yes, absolutely a fake. So here is Numbo, and I paid $6.99 for him. Here's why this one's a fake. So first of all, when you take this off, like this is so lightweight, like compared to like regular pins. I'm like, But then also, so this is, and I didn't realize this, it's a Walt Disney Imagineer exclusive limited edition of 300. You don't get one of those for $6.99 ever. The Imagineering pins are very sought after, very valuable. Like, no, absolutely, like, there's not even any. So it'll look cute on my pin board. You know, it's never one that I'm going to resell or trade because I am absolutely positive that it is a fake. Okay, the one more thing that I got at this store. So as I was looking at, you know, the pull out back here, and I saw somebody else that had like this, you know, this little raft. I was like, oh, I wish I had like a pool float that I could just, you know, float on, because I do enjoy like laying out in the sun, but I'd much rather be like in the water effortlessly, like still laying out in the sun. So as we were in the store, look at what I found. This thing. Oh, I'm so excited to find this. And here, actually, here it is. I didn't want to deflate it to have to blow it up again today. But this is amazing. I took this down to the pool yesterday, and you kind of like, you could just sit on that part, and I was just kind of slouched down with my head on the back, and I was just like, you know, lay it out in the water. And I do plan on doing that again this afternoon. So that pool float, that was like one of my best finds. I will show you, so these are all of the pins that I got either in the parks or at Disney Springs. So I'm just going to quickly show you them. And maybe for the any mystery boxes, I don't think I have many of them. Maybe we'll just go ahead and open them now. So this was a Hollywood Studios mystery pin set. Each box contains 2 random pins. And I just wanted these because they say right on them Hollywood Studios. And I thought that would be a nice souvenir. So I'm just going to actually open these right now and see which ones we got. So 2 blind bags. Oh, okay, so there's Buzz. I love those. Those are really cool. Okay, there's that one. And Mike Wazowski. Very fun. Okay, I like those a lot. All right. This was a limited edition one. I do love the Rescuers. This was $19.99. Oh, as you can see here, here is my lunch fly that I brought down with me to use. My Rescuers. This one, an open edition pin, and I just thought that was very, very classy looking. Robin Hood. I saw that one and I was like, yes. Because I've seen that one online and offered on eBay, but you know, you have to pay retail plus the shipping and whatnot. When being here in the parks, I was like, yes, please. This was one I knew I wanted to get before it even came down. It just came out. It's Lilo and Stitch. It's really pretty. Look at those sparkles. And it says Spring Break 2021. And I really wanted that one just because we're here during Spring Break 2021. Here is Chip and Dale, Dolls Mixtape. I just love the vibe on that, like a cassette tape. 80s Child. I think this is a new one, open edition, that came out recently. There's like the cute cartoonish figures from Beauty and the Beast. Kingdom Hearts. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, so I got that one. Oh, this Peter Pan one I really liked. So I actually passed this one up when I was at the parks, but I was like, I do like that one. And then when I was at Disney Springs here, I got it. The Muppets. Oh, and I got this one. This is Big Thunder Mountain pin. And I just got this one, again, just as a memory of our day, because that was our first ride that we were able to just walk right on, and we were in the front seat, and I was like, yes, I want this pin. So those are my pins. Oh, we have this hefty bag left. This is from the Disney Character Warehouse. Now, I showed you some of the items that I had gotten from there as, you know, gifts for other people. But let's dig into the rest of it. So, I have here, they had these. Each box contains 1 of 4 revealed pins and 1 of 4 mystery pins. So we're gonna open that right up. And, okay, so there's our Aladdin one, is our revealed one. And let's see what the mystery one is. A Boo! Aww. That's cute. I didn't realize you would get one of like the characters that go together. I really like that. So this was marked at $17.99, and I think I got this for $6. But that's cool. All right. I don't even know where to start in here. So let's grab this. This here, marked at $19.99. I got this for $3. So it's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I'm not a big Halloween fan. You know, I might give this to my sister because I know that she would love like Disney mugs. But for $3, you just couldn't pass it up. Okay, ears. Let's talk about ears. So, again, not a big Halloween fan. I would never spend like the $30 on these, but I got them for $3. Look how cute. The candy corn in the ears. So $3 for those. $3 for these. Big puffy bow. Very pretty, very sparkly. These are cute. $3 for these. Look at that. Okay, and then, where do you see this hat? Oh my goodness. So this was originally $34.99, and I think I got it for $3.99. You ready for this? Look at that. Like the detail on this, and on the back it says Walt Disney World. Okay, the hat says there's no place like Walt Disney World. Like, and this is so soft. And let me show you the best part about this. Inside here, there's a little battery pack. Ready? Okay. He lights up. Like, that is fantastic. Like, the detail on this, the plaid scarf. I love this so much. I would definitely wear that in the winter. I'd wear it in the summer. I mean, that was an amazing find. I love that. Okay, I did get a Mickey face mask for me. All face masks there were $1. Face masks in the park were marked at $9.99. Okay, some clothes that I got here. Here is this cute Minnie Mouse bow tank top. Originally $34.99 and I got it for $9.99. This top here I thought was really cute. It's a hooded long sleeve and it was originally $44.99 and I got it for $14.99. These pants these pants were originally, I gotta tell you, so these were originally $39.99 marked down to $14.99, and I showed my husband that and he just rolled his eyes. He's like, yeah, I can see why they were marked down. I like them. Ta-da! So, I think they're cool. This shirt here is really cute. Originally $24.99. It was marked down to $7.99. Look at this. I'm a nervous Rex. Very cute. And then I was not expecting to be able to find any Spirit jerseys for sale, like in my size, but here was one. So this is, and it's not even ugly. Look at that there. Walt Disney World across the back. So originally, it doesn't say, but usually Spirit jerseys are like $65, and this was $24.99. And then last but not least, so this was a little bit of an impulse buy. We were there right at closing, so we were kind of like, you know, being rushed out just like, you know, a little bit. And this was behind the counter where they keep some of their pricier items. So this was originally $109.99, and it was marked down to, I believe, $54. Now I've been wanting like a really nice like jumbo pin, and I just love all the characters on this. So it does say Disneyland. I'll take it out so it's not blurry, but on the back here, limited edition of 1,000. 2020, celebrating 20 years of Disney pins. Let's go ahead and take this out here. So here you go. Okay, very nice case. He's got 4 pin backs. Okay, so on the back here, it has this like this so that, you know, you can set it down on a desk or something and it'll set just like that. But it does have, you know, the pin backs, and there at the bottom, limited edition of 1,000. Look at how big this is. I don't want to poke myself, but that is amazing. So yeah, I really appreciate this pin and like it a lot. So that, I believe that is everything. My husband did get a Mickey Mouse hat and a t-shirt. You know, nothing too out there. I'm the one that's kind of got a little bit of everything. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm sure this video was long enough, so thank you if you stuck out. Thank you if you stuck it out this long. Have a good one.